Hey everybody, I'm Matt McMann. Welcome to my little closet library. Let's talk middle grade spooky books. I'm going to recommend 3 books, starting with mildly spooky, moving to pretty spooky, and ending with really spooky. Here we go. Number 1, Lalani of the Distant Sea by Erin and Trada Kelly. After the death of her father, a young girl named Lalani tries to help her struggling island village, where the people believe they're being punished by a monster who lives on a nearby mountain. Her efforts to help have disastrous results, and ridden with guilt, Lalani tries to sail alone across the misty sea in search of a fabled island rumored to have magic that could save her people, a journey from which no one has ever returned. I would call this book mildly spooky. It's spooky like Grimm's fairy tales are spooky. It's written in a really sparse yet lyrical style. Erin and Trada Kelly really has a compelling voice in this book. It's a classic coming-of-age story where Lalani really has to struggle and suffer in order to overcome seemingly impossible odds in order to save her people. This book also deals with some pretty weighty issues with a light hand. Lalani has to process the death of her father and deal with some family dysfunction that arises in the wake of his death. But she does this in a really authentic way that I think will resonate with kids who have dealt with these kinds of situations. Author Erin and Trada Kelly's book, Hello Universe, won the prestigious Newbery Award in 2017 for the best children's book of the year, so you know she's got some writing chops. And they show here. Lalani and the Distant Sea earned starred reviews from both Kirkus Reviews and Publishers Weekly. So with a compelling protagonist and unique Filipino folklore, this heartfelt, fable-like coming-of-age adventure is a great pick for not just fans of spooky adventures, but for all middle grade readers. Number 2, Barnaby Grimes, Curse of the Night Wolf by Paul Stewart and Chris Riddell, illustrated by Chris Riddell. Barnaby Grimes is a TikTok lad, delivering messages as fast as possible by leaping across the rooftops of Victorian London. One moonlit night, while he's making a delivery, he's attacked by a large wolf-like creature and barely escapes with his life. Soon after, his friend disappears, and Barnaby begins to suspect that maybe the two events, his attack and the disappearance, are connected, and he begins to investigate. I would call this book pretty spooky. It's an engaging werewolf mystery, and I was immediately caught by the cover. I love the cover art. As a monster fan, it really stood out to me. And there's also wonderful illustrations that are really creepy, all scattered throughout the book, that really adds a lot of dimension. I was also grabbed from the very first line. The first line of the book is, "Have you ever felt your skin being peeled away from your arms and legs?" He's describing what it feels like to turn into a werewolf. But that was something that really grabbed my attention and got me turning pages. Also, the first person POV, point of view, really gives the story a sense of immediacy, feeling like you're there in the action. There are plenty of books for kids that are set in Victorian London, but one of the things I really appreciated about this story was how it used Barnaby's job as a TikTok lad as an interesting backdrop to the action. Barnaby Grimes, The Curse of the Night Wolf is the first in a 4-book series by the authors of the popular series The Edge Chronicles. And at only 205 pages with big font, this reads really quickly. This book also includes some unique Victorian era vocabulary that will probably be new to a lot of middle grade readers, but it's done in a fun way, not a frustrating way, that just adds color to the story. So a fast pace, unique protagonist, and great creepy illustrations make this a good pick for both reluctant readers and any fan of spooky mysteries. Number 3, Lockwood and Co. The Screaming Staircase by Jonathan Stroud. Modern-day alternative London has a problem. Terrifying ghosts have spread throughout the entire city, forcing residents to hide in their warded homes at night. And only young people have the ability to see and eliminate these supernatural threats. And this has caused a rise in numerous companies to spring up to deal with this problem. One of those companies is Lockwood and Co. After a disastrous attempt to eliminate a ghostly threat, the three teenagers of Lockwood and Co. are forced to try and clear the most haunted house in England. I would call this book really spooky. There are some genuinely scary moments as these kids interact and fight against and try and contain these ghostly threats. And Stroud does an amazing job of really ratcheting up the tension and using really creative writing to cast a tangible sense of atmosphere. But he balances out that spookiness with humor. The lead protagonist has a very intelligent, witty sense of humor that really works. I thought the premise of having modern-day England thoroughly overrun by ghosts each night to be really interesting, because normally in a supernatural story, most people don't believe, and it's only the people that see the creatures that know the truth. But in this story, ghosts are just a normal fact of everyday life, where the residents have been dealing with this for literally 50 years at the point of this story. The fact that only young people can see and eliminate these ghostly threats really gives the kids all the agency in this book. The adults aren't able to bail them out. The first-person point of view and beautifully descriptive language really puts you in the heart of the story and makes you feel like you're going through these experiences with these kids. There's really good character development of the three main protagonists. Each one has a unique backstory and a great voice. This book has excellent plotting, comprehensive world building, and the mystery unfolds in a really satisfying way. The Screaming Staircase is the first in a 5-book series by Jonathan Stroud, who is also the author of the popular Barnaby series. A great premise, high quality, atmospheric writing, likable, well-developed characters, all combined to make this a great pick for fans of middle grade spooky adventure. Thanks so much for watching. I'd love to hear about your favorite spooky middle grade books in the comments section. And if you like this video, it would really help me out if you click like, subscribe, and the bell button below, and even share it with a friend. I post videos once a week on book recommendations, writing advice, and personal development. Until next time, read well.